Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching the Tasty Pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Monday, July 10th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. As you get older, you start to recognize certain things about yourself. For me, one of those things I've learned is that with most of the stuff I do, less is more. I'm way more productive when I don't spread myself too thin. And if someone asked me to name one thing that I thought was the secret to Dexter Jackson's longevity, the whole less is more would be right at the top of my list. You don't get to have a career that spans almost 3 decades without understanding how your body works, especially when you're 50 years old, because now we're talking about a completely different ballgame. But this is what makes Dexter one of the greats. It's not just the talent, it's the knowledge that comes along with the talent. Less damage means more recovery, and more recovery means more wins. So people can say whatever they want, but at the end of the day, they can't argue with his results. If you really sit down and think about it, isn't it crazy that people used to get weird diseases like scurvy because they didn't have enough vitamin C in their diet? But if you're a figure competitor in 2020, you almost have the opposite problem because Cyd Gillon's pretty much megadosing the entire division for the better part of the last 3 years. With the Olympia being about 20 or so weeks away, this is usually the time when we see Cyd start to kick things into high gear. This is when the intensity ratchets up, and the next thing you know, she's turning on the afterburners trying to lap the field. And if history tells us anything, it's that once she starts to pull away, there's no one else in the division who can close the gap. Back in the day when we played pickup basketball, we would yell, "I got next," to let people know that we were ready to jump in after the next game. But for Dwayne Walker, I think placing top 3 at one of the deepest lineups of the season was enough to let everyone in bodybuilding know that he's ready for a takeover of the court. For a lot of people, what Dwayne did in Tampa was one of the biggest surprises of the entire weekend, especially considering the fact that he was competing in the 212 division last year. The guy checks all the boxes in what fans are looking for from the next generation of future stars. So now that everyone knows he's coming, it'll be fun to see how he responds to the spotlight. According to the law of supply and demand, when demand is high, so is the cost. As a business, it's your job to recognize and respond to the needs of the market. And over the last 12 months, you could make the argument that no one's responded to the demand of the market better than Pecini. It's not just that she's navigated her way to the top of the division that makes this run so impressive. It's more about how she had to climb over the 2 multi-time world champions who are still in their prime to do it. Even with the demand for excellence being at an all-time high, Issa still managed to supply the goods, which is not an easy thing to do. She cornered the market in the division right now, and I have a hard time believing that she'd be ready to give up her competitive advantage anytime soon. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo reminding you to always be true to your passions and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.